Hello, everyone. I'm Alberta, and I've got a story of how my sister betrayed me. Now I consider her my worst enemy. She framed me so that I still can't recover. Mary is the eldest child in my family. She's 4 years older than me. Parents are very proud of her because she graduated from school with honors, entered a cool university, and has a scholarship. Well, she's smart, beautiful, hardworking, a miracle of a daughter. And she makes me look like a total disappointment. In fact, my parents love me too. I'm just not that great of a daughter as compared with my sister. I study so-so, don't have any special hobbies. All too often, I spend my free time web-surfing and sleeping instead of doing wonders like Mary. So as a motivation, my parents decided to experiment on me. As for me, each girl's life traditionally has two main events, a graduation party and a wedding day. As you know, I'm still too young for a wedding. As for a graduation party, my mom imposed a very interesting condition on me. She said that I had to earn money for my graduation party all by myself. Actually, I was offered a choice. Either study well and finish the semester with only A's and B's, or earn money on my own. And frankly speaking, I'm not very good at studies. My best grade is C+, and all the other marks are far worse. I simply possess no talent for physics, mathematics, biology, and chemistry. Even cram sessions do nothing. I'd fail all the tests anyway. So I decided to find a part-time work. Dad gave me a courier job at his office and even offered me a fair salary. He treated me almost like a freelance employee. Of course, I worked 2 or 3 hours a day at most, but still managed to deliver all the papers and notes each workday. According to my own calculations, by graduation, I was going to save about $300. You see, the parents did not give me pocket money. To be more precise, my pocket money was included in the salary. So despite all my efforts, I still had to rob my piggy bank sometimes. I really wished to shine at the graduation party. I needed the most beautiful dress, even drew sketches for the seamstress myself and bought her fabrics. At the time, Mary was still my friend, and she gave me a lot of advice. Her tastes were similar to mine, so I often enjoyed her help. We even browsed the catalogs together and wondered what accessories and shoes would match my dress. Mary also worked on my hairstyle so that everything would go smoothly together. When I look back now, I still don't understand how she could do this to me. She always complimented me and told me that I looked gorgeous in a new dress. And then she stabbed me in the back. Well, let's not jump ahead. When I thought of a safe place to keep my money at, I somehow ended giving my savings to my parents. Yeah, I could put the money in the bank or just get a piggy bank, but for some reason, I entrusted them to my mom. So month after month, I gave all the earned money to her for safekeeping. I was confident that my parents would keep my meager savings intact, so I worked, lived, and dreamed about graduation. I even got a personal invitation. A boy who sat next to me in school asked me to go to prom together, and I said yes. Of course, he wasn't the school's best-looking guy, but he was okay, and I needed a partner. And so the time had finally come. I made an arrangement with the seamstress and needed only to give her my sketches, along with the measurements and the down payment. And then I received the mind-shattering news. My mom told me that the money was gone. Honestly, I almost fainted because of her words. How was it even possible? I wrote down everything, and I knew exactly how much I had saved. But my mother just shrugged and said that Mary took my money to pay for some of her courses. My mom was sure that my sister and I had some agreement, so she gave her all my savings. You have no idea how I felt at that moment. My beloved sister, who helped me prepare for the prom, did my hairstyles, and perfectly knew how important it was for me, just destroyed all of my dreams. Moreover, in fact, Mary robbed me. I felt decimated and horrified at the same time. Naturally, my parents did not help me with the dress at all. Dad considered the prom party the prime example of female stupidity and wasn't going to give me any money for the dress. And Mom just offered to buy me some simple dress on sale. She even gave me some money, $15 as I remember, and that was all. She thought it was my fault that I couldn't take care of my own money. After all that, I did not go to prom. I had a grand quarrel with Mary, then locked myself in my room and cried for the whole evening and left to college the very next day. Since then, I don't communicate with my sister and with my parents. Yep, Mom may have made a mistake, but she could have asked me at the very least. I trusted her, and she knew that it was important to me and still behaved as if it was something insignificant. Therefore, I don't trust my parents anymore. Yet most of all, I hate my sister. She betrayed me, destroyed everything I hold dear, and robbed me at the same time. Funny thing is that she's still trying to talk to me. As if I have something to talk to her about anymore.
Hello everyone, I'm Masha, and Berta accuses me of having stolen her money. Unfortunately, she is sure of that and she doesn't even want to listen to me. Therefore, I'll tell you my version of events, and you'll have to make this conclusion yourself. I felt very happy when Alberta was born. At that time, I had an impression that she was a present for me, some kind of super doll if you want. I really enjoyed playing with her, dressed her up, and talked to her. The only thing left for my mom to do was to change her diapers and feed her. We grew up, and at some point, I noticed that my mother was behaving a bit strange. Sure, she still loved both of us, and she did everything with good intentions, but the result was controversial, to say the least. Let me give you a quick example. Berta had some real problems with her studies. Well, it happens with everyone. Not all of us are born geniuses. But when I encountered similar problems as a kid, my parents simply paid a tutor who did the explaining better than my school did, and the problem had been quickly solved. Yet Dad and Mom didn't lift a finger to help Berta. They just left her to her own devices. I could have understood if they simply gave her zero help. Maybe there was a shortage of money in our family. Maybe my parents were really busy. I don't know for sure. But Mother constantly drew my sister's attention to each and every one of her failures. And at the same time, she emphasized that Mary, that means me, had done everything faster and better. No wonder Berta slowly stopped loving me as a sister and started to be envious of my successes. Of course, it's difficult to love someone whom you're getting constantly compared to. Berta naturally started to distance herself from me and tried to stand out at least in something. For my part, I always tried to support my sister as much as I could. But pretty soon, I left home to study. And then Mom and Dad turned Alberta's life into a true nightmare. My sister was too young and naive to notice what my parents did. Mom and Dad totally gave up on her and made it look so that my poor sister considered herself guilty of everything. They've even threatened to make her stay at home during prom if she didn't do what they wanted her to. They told Berta that everything was for her own good. And for me, it looked like they just used my sister for labor. In addition, Dad paid her far less than minimum wage. Honestly, she could have worked in the local McDonald's for the same time, and they'd pay her a lot more. Berta could have easily earned 3 times more cash, but my parents really did a great job of messing with her head. But what happened next literally shocked me. As I've already said earlier, I wasn't living with my parents, and I tried to solve all my problems myself. But at the moment, I really needed Mom and Dad's help. The experts at our university introduced some new and very valuable courses that would really add to my worth as a professional. But the courses weren't part of the core program, and we had to pay a hefty sum for them. Even those of us with a scholarship weren't spared, and I really needed to attend them. That's why I asked my parents to lend me money for the down payment. I was planning to make the further payments by myself because my income allowed that. But at the moment, I had 0 savings, and the time for enrollment grew short. I needed to borrow only $300, and I was going to return that sum of money as soon as possible. Of course, I knew that Alberta was saving money for prom. It seemed to me that everyone knew about it, even the neighbors. But I couldn't even imagine that Mom would trick both of us at the same time. When I asked my mother for money, I thought she'd give me a part of the family savings. I certainly did not suspect my mother to decide to rob my sister. Therefore, I took the money and used it for the down payment. And when I found out everything about my mom's plan, it was already too late. My sister skipped her prom, and she came to me in hysteria, blaming me of everything. The worst thing was that I could have helped Berta if she only told me everything at once. Yes, I didn't have those $300 at the time, but I already managed to save $200 and was ready to return the money to Mom. Of course, I'd have to tighten my belt a bit, but my sister would have a prom and the dress she'd always wanted. Not only did Mom set me up, she also managed to break up me and Berta. My sister still thinks that everything was my fault, and she doesn't even want to listen to me. Although, I'm still trying to make contact with her and explain the situation. I can't really understand why Mom did all of this to us. She could have had 2 daughters who are also close friends, and now she has no one left but Dad. What do you think about my situation? Write your opinion in the comments. Why did Berta and Mary's mom act like that? And what should the girls do now? Share the video with your brothers and sisters, and always help each other. Relatives should really stick